faster. Boom, going to the maximum. Going to the maximum.
Thank you. Wow, that was quite a panel before us. Right?
We can do this. We can do
But
this.
this is going to be the best panel. We will begin, everyone, with just quick introductions of who you are, what you do, 30 seconds, and then the fun will begin. Are we ready?
Hi, everyone. I'm Joseph Lanius. I'm an executive producer and attorney in the film space. I help creatives build financing for their projects and do a lot of strategy on that end.
I'm Ali Alanis, executive producer, publisher, and creative, and founder of Unsugar-Coated Media.
I'm David Uslin. I am a producer. My family produces all the Batman films and a bunch of other fun, big, geeky, IP-related movies and TV shows. But most importantly, I'm a fan of everybody that is up on this stage right now.
Hello,
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Singo Jung. I'm from South Korea. I came from Dexter Studio, who made the VFX for the Squid Game and for the Parasite, so for the whole bunch of South Korean film. And I came here to represent my company. Thank you.
Hi. I'm Mr. Speaks. I'm a radical speaker. I'm a theater, TV, and film actor, and a designer also, and etc.
Amazing, thank you. Okay, I'll begin with asking Alia and Mr. Speaks, because you call yourself a radical speaker. What do you think are the benefits of Web3 in the entertainment industry? But before you answer that, can we please make sure the doors are closed? Thank you so much, because no one can hear them. Okay.
I mean, the benefits, first of all, entertainment itself, we always look to create an immersive experience that makes the audience feel more drawn in, more, entwined in what we're doing. So the ability that I see to create that experience is one that we're taking to a whole new level, and I think is incredibly exciting. And also yields so many opportunities for new creatives coming into the industry as well.
Okay, thank you.
I think as a Filipino character actor for 36 years, I think it's about time that we next level it and throw everyone else to a level of understanding that we can push showbiz filmmaking as the ultimate art, I believe, to another level beyond imagination.
Okay, thank you. And David and Jung, if I could ask you, how do you see that happening, if you can expand upon that? Like, how exactly would viewers benefit from Web3 in the entertainment industry?
I have a very niche perspective on everything. I'm not a tech guy, but I am a content guy, and I come from a family that knows where to look for really cool stuff. And what I could tell you for sure right now is that some of the IP that is being created in this Web3 world will make some of the next great franchises, movies and TV shows,
Right.
games, other related licensing opportunities, all that stuff. And the communities that come with it are fabulous. I grew up in a Comic-Con type of environment with crazy fans that would do anything for Batman or for any of the great Marvel projects, crazy fans. You find those fans in these Web3 communities. And I love the fact that anybody can get involved and can dive headfirst into this world if they choose. And I really do think that this world that we're all playing in now, that is not going away anytime soon, this is where the great IP will be mined from here on out. I mean, obviously there's lots of places to look, but just in the last couple days alone, just walking these aisles and meeting a whole bunch of you and being shown stuff that you guys are creating, things that are on the horizon, it's really cool. and it's not slowing down, and anybody could be a part of it, which I love.
Yeah, thank you. What do you think about that, Jung?
Yeah, for our company, when we won the award at Cannes Film Festival for The Parasite, our director Bong Joon-ho has said that people will be able to enjoy the more film if you just break the language barrier under the 2 inch of the subtitle. But as a Korean who speaks Chinese and English, I know it's really hard to enjoy those other foreign countries' contents. But when the Web3 comes into the filmmaking industry, I truly believe that everyone will be able to enjoy whatever the content that they are making from, whether it's in English or whether it's in gibberish or whatever the language it is. So as he said, like, this will be able to make the new business model that everyone will be able to sell whatever they want, not just selling the result of the film.
Yeah, so you think that people would be able to enjoy more than just the languages that they're typically used to because of Web3 as well?
Yes, yes.
Awesome, okay. Joseph, I want to know if you think there are any challenges with regards to Web3 and the entertainment industry.
Yeah, I would say there's definitely a lot of challenges right now, especially in Hollywood, because, for lack of better words, you have a lot of dinosaurs and gatekeepers that know that Web3 will destroy their way of income at the current moment unless they adapt. So it is a challenge right now for Web3 to fully, especially when it comes to like film and television. There are other aspects of it that I think will be quite embraced and already are, but a lot of with the traditional film and television, I think there's a lot of hurdles still to overcome, and we're still a few years away before it really gets adapted by Hollywood, just because of those kind of gatekeepers and people that are scared of the future.
But do you think that we'll be able to overcome that? And what do you think the timeline is like if we were to?
Yeah, I do think people will overcome just because of the younger generation that'll push up and kind of push that out and are more adaptive and not scared of it. But I do feel it's still several years away. You know, maybe 3 to 5 years before it really becomes truly adaptive. Of course, there's other technologies that are coming out of Web3, like the AI, the AR, that I think you'll see a lot more increase in there compared to other sectors of Web3.
Thank you.
You know, there's some interesting examples that are out there that are worth paying attention to. One of my company's partners is a company called Palm NFT. And Palm is the company that handled Warner Discovery's first NFT drops with our Bat Cowl drops that we did. Now they're handling all of DC Comics, really all of their digital assets and Web3 activity. It was last year that we had our Bat Cowl drop, and the time that it took to convince the studio to do that was long and difficult. But as an insider, it was really impressive seeing the amount of sales and revenue that was generated compared to the loss leader business of comic books, of traditional comic books. And when you see, you know, how much money these things could be made, how many new fans jumped in rather than the traditional kind of comic book buyer, it even made those dinosaurs turn their heads and think twice. And more of those examples are happening now. Another close friend of ours is a company called Vivi that handles all of Disney. And, you know, they have made some really good money in this Web3 space. And as more and more of these things happen, like Joseph said, you know, it's going to be hard to deny that at least some Web3 aspect, some component will need to be included in the evolution of really any brand. Otherwise, they're just going to be missing out on huge revenue streams and tapping into where the next great fan bases are. So there are examples of it, and it's happening day by day. And again, a year from now, when we're all together here next year hanging, it's going to be pretty unbelievable to have this exact same conversation 1 year from now.
Amazing. Yeah, I like to see that too. Did you want to add something, Alia?
I mean, some of the challenges we also, which I totally agree, and yes, like AI, AR, these things are definitely, I mean, in film, especially when you're dealing with studio budgets versus independent film, which is a lot of what we deal with, and especially Joseph, we've spoken about how, for example, with cryptocurrency, an example, actors are not accepting cryptocurrency for payment. So a lot of people are like, oh, we want to use crypto to fund our film. And there are ways to do it, but then there are also ways that are still those challenges that until you have unions buying into it and accepting it and, and people can liquidate it so that they can pull down and actually create the film, those hurdles have to still be overcome. And I definitely think, speaking to what you were saying, like that's definitely still the 5 to 10 year where we're really cohesively all experiencing that together in film financing.
Do you think then that would allow for a lower barrier to entry within the entertainment industry and like having new creators, new people who want to join the entertainment industry? Do you think it would make it easier for them, Web3 in general, or tougher?
Yeah, I do think it will make it easier because it will allow that person to have outreach throughout the world that they couldn't necessarily get. That's one thing I think, especially with NFTs that David was kind of speaking to, the marketing tool aspect of it that you can really use for film is really cool and phenomenal. And I think, it can also help you before you go spend millions and millions of dollars on a product. It helps you kind of gain insight where your core audience is and see if what you're trying to build is worthwhile before you just dump that much money into a project. So, but I do think it is a great way for creators to create their, to build their community, and then again, just get more outreach out in the world.
Thank you. I'm curious to know from any one of you, really, like, people are used to a specific type of entertainment, how they consume it. So how do you think the transition would look like? Do you think people would, because just generally getting people on the Web3 space isn't the easiest task. But entertainment specifically, I feel like people have a comfort level as to how they want to watch something, or do they really want to get immersed? How do we make it easier for people to transition and welcome the new changes?
That's a good question.
Thank
you. There are, first of all, so much is based on technology and just what is happening in this world that we live in, and how easy it is now to pick up a cell phone and to do really anything imaginable with just, what's in the palm of your hand. I think that with the Web3, world that we're all moving in, again, I have a very niche perspective from things, but I look at like Web3 comic books, again, as an example, and groups, brands, whether it's Bored Apes or whomever, that are moving into, scripted content, taking their IP and trying to move it down a pathway. The sales of these things that they're putting together, whether you call them comic books or whatever it is, they're outperforming and they're outselling traditional comics and IP that have been around for 100 years. And they're doing this in the blink of an eye with content that has been created like 5 seconds ago. So it shows the power of these communities and, again, their desire to buy and to be involved in everything possible that's related to these brands that they have a real investment in. The other thing I would say, too, just real quick, is that, my company, my family, we're very involved in live events around the world. I mean, that's why we're all sitting here. I heard a lot in the last couple days about metaverse-related, things, opportunities, what's out there. And, you know, coming from a world of Comic-Cons, coming from a world of entertainment that is built around leaking information, access, interaction with producers and talent, being the first to know what is happening. The metaverse world that we again are moving into is going to provide more opportunity than most people can imagine. And that covers 1,000 different ways. That covers music concerts, that covers everything. But I love the fact that we're going to live in a world very soon where when we're all done here at Philippine Blockchain Week and we all go home to wherever we are going home to around the world, we will be able to access something that will continually bring us all together after this event is done and allow us to learn and continue to educate one another. And that is a beautiful thing that until now is very, very hard to maintain and manage.
For sure, yeah.
And that's going to change everything.
Thank you.
I just wanted to
Of course.
say, drop off from what David said. I don't think there's a transition to it. I think it's just jumping into it. Because transitioning, like, what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's already here. It's inevitable. It's been happening already.
Yeah.
And like you said, content, when are we feeding them new content? We don't wait for them to like it. Let's feed it to them. Because Filipinos are always asking, when do we show, when do we give Filipinos new kinds of film, new kinds of content? When? Because they always shut off new content because they always say that the audience won't take it. The audience won't eat it because they need formulated stuff. We're done with that, right? We're done with it because we're now new stuff, future. And that's why we need to feed them already, new stuff. There's no transitioning. Jumping into it is the
Amazing.
key.
That's the radicalness we're
Like,
looking for.
Really, really, because in the Philippines, we are so sick and tired of old stuff. And they always say, because that's where the money is. But I say, but there's more money to new stuff you don't know about.
Yeah.
And this is what we want to happen. And I'm a filmmaker too. I've been an actor for 36 years. I've never seen new stuff because they're scared to produce new stuff because they think nobody's going to eat it.
Yeah.
But we watch Hollywood stuff. I don't understand why producers here don't think they would eat it.
Yeah.
Because we
you just
watched
need to feed them. and
Batman.
they'll
We
eat it.
watched,
Yeah.
you
Got
know,
it.
we watched Parasite. We loved it. Why don't we create stuff like that here? They don't know.
Thank you.
That's also why this guy's business is about ready to explode too.
Yeah.
And you know, they could tell you that, you know, dealing with VFX companies, especially good ones, you know, it's like dealing with a good actor. They are booked up years in advance. You know, they are booked up years in advance. And now you see, you know, a lot of these Web3 initiatives that are super high quality, metaverses and environments that are being built that are the best of the best, that look amazing, fabulous, right? So much of this tech is now going to be applied to that space that, you know, it's just another facet of the business that is going to be very much needed. And I could see, again, a world that we're living in where these types of companies, the VFX, the graphic designers, those out there that are really good at what they do, you know, again, they're going to be booked up in this space and overloaded with the amount of work and opportunities that are coming out of it. So again, it's a part of my job to make sure I'm as much of a best friend to people like this as possible. So I'll be able to get folks like that to be able to help with projects when there's not a lot of companies out there that are able to not only do it right, but understand the space in a way to you know, enter it the right way.
Thank you. We are almost done, but before we end the panel, I just want to hear from each of you real quick what you individually want to do in the Web3 space when it comes to entertainment, or want to see if it's not just for you. Real quick.
I guess the one thing I like to do is just to help help creatives and producers think outside the box a little bit, to use it for a tool to help build make their projects better, make their projects more
Immersive.
accessible to the world.
Awesome.
And just where I am on the business side of things, help show their financiers and investors that there's a path to return, and even more return from these ancillary items that you can use in Web3 even today, that'll just get better as the technology advances.
Thank you, Alia.
And I'm kind of in the same boat with him, but I do just want to add that, I love the idea of producing projects that go, further. You start off and you start small, but then you go bigger and you go bigger. And for anyone else, I just want to say this one thing too. People are like, does this mean the end of going to the theater and experiencing movies? It's not. I mean, Netflix just put a movie for the first time in a theater, and woohoo, look at that, it did well. We're not losing that by gaining something else within the entertainment industry
We're
in this
adding.
way. We're adding, exactly.
Got it.
This is why my family loves this family, because they understand that, it's all about creator rights, defending creators, giving them the best opportunities possible. And again, as a multi-generational geek, I want to see more content creation in this space. I want to see more traditional creators moving into this space and using it for all sorts of good. And again, I'm seeing it every day. I want to see those trends continue, because again, in a year from now, when we're sitting down, we're going to have all of these amazing examples to rattle off in the next year that, again, are going to propel all of our industries in a bunch of ways.
Thank you. Joel.
Yeah, for me, I do really want to see that our contents that has been produced in Korea want to be more international, not just by adding a subtitle in it.
Yeah.
There will be I do believe that there will be a moment that this bubble will gonna be pop, because some people do believe that Web3 or blockchain or even cryptocurrency are bubble market that's gonna be pop soon. But like in last few decades, after .com bubble pop, everyone are still using .com as their business profile. So even though the cryptocurrency bubble are pop, I do believe that the small percentage of this company will be survived, and I wish that our company will be the one who survived in this Web3.
Yay.
And hopefully I will be able to come back in here to say, hey, we did more great film in here, and we did some more NFT or Web3 stuff in the past few years.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that too. Mr. Speaks.
I wanna represent the Filipino artists to the world and tell them to come up now, like fast, because Filipinos can do it. They know. There are
Yeah.
Filipinos scattered out there, Pixar, everywhere. Marvel, Will Sportacio is there. I want to be able to do that to the ones that are here, because I have a script right now. I'm a screenplay writer. It's in Hollywood now. Guillermo probably reading it now. I want to tell them it's possible that as a Filipino creator, we can do it and jump into the web and create that film of mine, probably whenever, however. But that's to prove that Filipinos should transition, like right now. Not transition, jump.
Yeah.
Jump right now.
into
And
it.
I'm gonna hold their hand. So call out to Filipino filmmakers and creators and producers. Let's do it.
Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you. That was awesome.